Hi guys, this is Rainy from R&Y Garage and welcome to another episode of our Sundays with Rainy. A little explanation about the car, about the work we are doing here. And the topic of this week will be brake fluid and brake fluid change. So many people think on your car, all you gotta do is going at least every 2 months to depend on your driving, but going to their garage and change your oil and change your coolant or do your air filter things. But many people forget that brake fluid is one of the most essential things on your car. And this should be changed at least once every 2 years. So I do personally change mine every year, but we recommend once every 2 years, change your brake fluid. Even if it's there, even if your brake's still working, this brake fluid, basically what it's doing, due to the heat, it builds condensation water inside your system. And that makes basically your whole system spoiled, creates rusty brake pistons, a rusty system, a clogged up system, and it goes to the point where you go through the mountains and it has that much condensation inside, your brakes getting hot and you're losing brake performance when you're going downhill. Certainly your brakes are also for the reliability and for the life of your brake. Everything what is around, master brake cylinder, brake piston, slave, and so on, that they are staying clean. So we perform today a brake fluid change for you, the way we do it and the way we recommend it, the way we do it in our garage. First, we test the brake fluid. Is for sure visual. We go with our torch on, we see is it dark or is it still yellow. Some brake fluids are green, some are red. But what we do, we're gonna open our reservoir, check is it still enough. I need to get that thing out here. Didn't do it before. Sorry. Let's do a live diagnosis. We need to get that little screen out here. Make sure you have to make sure that's always in. I break my tools a little bit. Yeah. We are having a tool here, just a measuring thing, tester for .3, .4, .5. And what we are doing is measuring the humidity condensation in that. And when we are going in, it will show us an overload. That means basically this is the humidity in your system. And that basically means we should replace the brake fluid. So the way we are changing brake fluid is for sure not like in the old days. Do you remember when you had to do your brakes? Send your son into the car, you say press the brake and you open the line on the bottom and he presses and he goes in and out on the old car. And before actually the brake was working, but after this performance, the brake wasn't working anymore, because basically what we are doing, that fully pressing through on your brake pedal, we move the whole debris in your old master brake cylinder through and basically scratching the surface inside. And even your brakes were working before this, they don't work. So that's empty. He put some, shouldn't be running dry. That's our machine here in the back. There's a little container on. We are filling slowly the brake fluid in there, that we don't have too much air in that system, because what we want to avoid is air in your system. This is exactly the same thing what happens when the brake fluid has too much humidity in it. It basically starts boiling and it creates air in your system. And that's what makes your brakes failing. So, of course, what we have to do is switching on the ignition. We have the ABS system on. And on some cars, we need to go even in bleeding mode with a scanner and activate the bleeding mode. So in this car, we only switch on the ignition. Lifting up the car, and I find my bleeding nibble. Some of those bleeding nibbles are terrible seized on, so I hope we are lucky with these ones, otherwise it may take us some time. And that's a thing, small little thing, but this is a little rubber cap here on that bleeding nibble. 90% they are off, they are lost, they are ever. Snakes, forget them. They don't fall. They just don't fall off on their own. So always making sure when I take them off, put them back again. Otherwise, water goes in there, mud goes in there, this bleeding nibbles clog up, and you have a very terrible job to do with the bleeding. And sometimes they rust inside and you can't open the bolt anymore. It requires for us to take off the brake cylinder, brake piston, sometimes replace the whole thing because it's seized on. We hope we are lucky on that. This one opened easy. In this case, on that car, we can say that with that system of bleeding, this procedure, we can take the left one or the right one. It doesn't really matter. We have that already here. We put the overflow tank on, where the fluid drains out. I explained to you guys that bleeding nipples, we clean, easy to open. Some of them we really need to use a torch to get it hot and open the bleeding nipple without breaking it. That's why the plastic nipples or cup caps on there are very important. We will put them back. I'm opening my brakes now here, just a quarter turn. Go to the machine in the front, switch it on, and you will see it. The machine in the front, switch it on, and you will see how that one goes through, and you see the fluid was pretty dark already. We only make here around 300-400 milliliter in this tank. Let's see that. 350. We can switch that off. We can close that because it's coming already clean and no bubbles in. Close that. Go to the other one. It's coming here. Sorry. And we will fill that also up. And you see that it was very close how dark it is. So it was time to change that fluid, the new one. And with that system, we basically also avoid any bubbles in the system, which makes your brakes spongy. A little reminder for the Land Cruiser guys. The Land Cruiser has an LSPV, a load sensing proportional valve. This is connected to your rear axle with another bleeding point. So this is the one on the Land Cruiser you bleed first. You have 5 points to bleed. First is the LSPV, then the rear wheels, then the front wheels. The brakes will still be spongy after you replace the brake fluid. And we see nicely now how dark is that fluid, and it was really worth it to change it. Fresh, not more fluid. Any bubbles in here, so there shouldn't be any soft brakes. We won't move the master brake cylinder in the front at all. So that's all clean. We don't damage anything, and that's the safest way to flush your brakes. You're still waiting to have like 250 until it really nicely clean, bubbles in. And then we switch that off, and I'm going to the front, and I'm switching the machine off and connecting the seats to the front. So you see also that in general, it takes like 5 minutes, one-man job, safe, brake fluid, replace. So I think we are good to go. We have here over 300 milliliter in. We close that line in that thing, and the nice thing is you don't have any spill on that on the floor. Your rubber cap on again, it's sealed, closed, and there won't be any dirt coming in. Let's go to the front. So we are doing here number 4. As I said, it doesn't play a role on that system. When you bleed it, which one you start first? That's open. Have a little bit of fill here. Open. Train that as well. Will come slowly, and you see how dark it is coming in. We'll get it more fast. So, and now it comes pretty clean, but you see how dark it is. We have here, we don't have any bubbles in here. It's very clean, the fluid. So we just let that run to completely 500 milliliter. The good thing is with that tanks, we can show the client after how the brake fluid looked like. and how much we put him on the bill. Often you say, oh, there is a liter, why you changed, doesn't look like 1.5 or 1 liter. So exactly how much we changed. This is good to go. We can close that here and we have done. Today, put that pipe firmly. We put that bleeding nipple back. So now I'm done with the brake fluid change. The nipples are all back. We will lower the car. I will take off the oil on the switch off the everything. I will make sure the level is on the right level. Put the screen back, close the cup up, and we are basically on with the change. So guys, this was the video for this week. We explained you how we change the brake fluid on the cars we are getting in here. I hope you liked the video. It gave you some more information and made you aware of the importance of brake fluid changes. We are happy to see you. We see here that you follow us. We are still open for everyone doing their normal maintenance, fluid change, suspension work, air conditioning work, engines, transmissions, lights. We are open for you. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for popping in and hope to see you next week again. Peace out.